Good morning, millennials.
Welcome back to The Toast and happy Wednesday, a hump day, which makes sense because Jackie and I are dressed like a bunch of camels today.
We've got two humps on this hump day. Turdy and I are twinning.
Lovely lady lumps.
You and I are the two humps because we're both twinning in camel.
And it's a big day, you guys. It's merch launch day. So our fall merch shop that we've been teasing all week finally launches today, 10 a.m. So it's already out. And the website, of course, is hermes.com. It's shoptoastmerch.com. Our big collection, this is like our final collection, like big collection for the end of the year. So usually we do December one, but we decided to do this one like more autumnal collegiate vibes. So if you're wanting to get someone something for the holidays, we have hats, we have bags, we have sweatshirts, we have sweatpants, we have t-shirts, we have cardigans for the very first time.
I feel like such a broken record because about everything I'm saying, like this is my favorite thing we've ever launched, but then I'm saying that about everything, but I mean it truly, like the cardigan, the tee, the camel logo, the Girly Swirly University where I got like a 5-star education, and then Garji Parji, I can finally wear that across my chest. Like it's a beautiful thing.
And a couple of housekeeping things, shall we?
Oh,
we get a lot of questions about sizing. Jackie and I both wear mediums. If I was just getting the crew neck, I would probably get a large so I could do like oversized with leggings. But when I wear it as a set, I like it to be more fitted. So if you're getting the whole set, I would go your regular size. Everything really runs true to size. The t-shirt, the girly t-shirt in white is meant to be fitted. So if you're looking for like a looser fit, I would size up again. But everything really runs true to size. That's first.
And then if you like
I left the refrigerator open. Like, am I okay?
You left your refrigerator running. You better go catch it.
Can we close the refrigerator?
If you like an oversized tee, like what we've done in the past, there is a girly tee in the shade mushroom
it's toasty.
In the shade mushroom that is oversized, and the quality of it is a little bit thicker than what we launched in the spring because it is fall now, so it's a little bit thicker stock.
Also wanted to note that because we really try not to do, most of our drops we do pre-order so everybody can order exactly what they want. Nothing sells out. That does mean that the lead time for shipping is a little bit longer. So it says 4 to 5 weeks right now. But you'll be able to get everything you want. You won't have to be crying because you're getting like a size you didn't want or an item that you wanted sold out. So just keep in mind 4 to 5 weeks and you can get whatever you want. So that's great. Nothing's going to sell out. We're going to close the shop in a few days, but you have time.
Yeah. So head to shoptoastmerch.com. Merch week is the best week because we finally get to wear all the stuff we've been working on. I don't have to think about what I'm wearing.
That's it.
We look amazing.
That's it. Like not having to think about outfits. And I guess that's what it's like being a kid when your parents would like lay your clothes out for you. I just don't even know if I realize like what a burden it is on me.
I know.
Especially because we are on camera and everybody's like, it does hurt when everybody's like, oh, Jackie looks great today. And I'm just like, okay, now I'm a big piece of duty.
No, it really hurts when they're like slob.
I know what you're saying.
Well, I mean, yeah, but it's tough. And then some days I'm like, I'm stepping my pussy up, I'm dressing up, and like then I feel so stupid. And I find that I look better on days where I'm just cozy.
Anytime I get dressed up, I feel incredibly stupid. Like on Friday's episode, I actually didn't even get to talk about this. Right, I had to run out of the Toast because I got an opportunity. There was like a meeting being held with the president of Israel. I got to meet the president of Israel. I actually have like a picture I need to post. So I got like dressed up. I was wearing like a really nice stawed like sweater dress, boots with the fur, like heels. I felt so stupid. We're like sitting here talking about like Brianna Chicken Fry and Zach Bryan, and I'm like literally going to a business meeting.
No, there have been some times where I do something in the morning that requires me to like wear a dress or look nice, and it's like, well, why not go to work looking so nice? Because like why take it down a notch? And I just look so stupid in my chair with my headphones like in my dress that I never want to do it.
I often feel like the more put together and fancy I look, the worse my performance is on the Toast. Like,
oh yeah, you do feel that way.
My level of comfort is parallel with my level of funny. Like it's just.
Also to say that's probably why this week has been amazing Toast-wise, amazing looks-wise. Plus we get to twin, which I love to twin with my twin.
Yeah, me too.
My twin flame, Turdy.
Like you're so positive today, and like I want to be on your level. I like snap my neck in my sleep, which is. It's been happening to me a lot in my older age. It always happens in my sleep. So it's like I go to bed happy and I wake up, what happened?
Yeah.
And the way I want to seriously snap my own neck and just like kill someone, it is so, like I can't even talk, and I'm so animated when I talk. Yeah. I can't do my thing.
You can't yap, as the kids say?
I can't yap, as the kids say.
I'm really sorry. I've been there so many times. It's the worst thing. I do believe that our beds are too soft, and my
bed is perfect.
Human beings are like meant to sleep on the floor,
I know. And Ben was like, well, tonight you'll have to sleep with no pillows, yada, yada. And I'm like, why? it's not going to help it get better. There is a certain amount of time I have to suffer before. Like, it's just nothing I do is going to move it along. Like, it's just probably 2-3 days that I have to suffer, and then I will be better. And I could spend those 2-3 days icy hot, sleeping on the floor. Or I could just live my life, and it'll be the same amount of time before I feel better.
We're not meant to sleep on the floor. You know, there's grass. There's
No, Jackie, they
sand.
say, like, when you really throw out your back, you're supposed to sleep on your dining room table. Like, flat, hard.
Oh my! But this is something that we've known for a while. It happens to me every few weeks because my bed is just too soft, and one day I will deal with that.
I have so many other things I need to deal with. That,
I love it's just my bed.
It's not a priority. Oh yeah, and I love my bed.
Yeah.
So last night I told you I'm very much like in my cable era, and I decided to do something a little crazy.
I know what you did because you actually FaceTimed with me last night, even though you haven't been FaceTiming with me.
Yeah, Jackie and I are kind of like working through a little family issue. Meanwhile, I had to talk to your husband. I had such a terrible dream about him. Like, I need to make sure he's okay. I feel like my dreams are actually like really connected with what's going on in the world. I feel like maybe Zach needs to talk to me about something.
The issue that Claudia and I are having is a scheduling issue because she's been watching a lot of TV with her husband, which is like beautiful for your relationship. You watch Harry Potter, you watch Gilmore Girls, like it brings you together. But when he's watching with you, like he doesn't let us FaceTime, and like literally he has a timer on. The other night he said, I begged to get 5 questions in, and I didn't even, and he said yes, and then I didn't even get to ask 5 questions.
So I've definitely felt like Jackie and I aren't communicating as well as we once did. And last night Ben was out to dinner. Jackie and I were on FaceTime for like
we were on FaceTime
2 hours
doing nothing. Like he thinks we just like it's a need to have conversation. No, I just want to like be on the phone with my sister.
And so we've come to the conclusion that my husband is driving a wedge between us, trying to like, you know,
just watch Harry Potter.
No, trying to definitely separate us. Like,
the thing is, I don't think the intent is bad. I don't think he's trying to separate us. I think he just wants to watch his show, but he doesn't understand like how important, like you know what he said? He said, screw sisterhood.
Well, it's so important to note that if Ben and I were watching something and he took a phone call like from anyone.
It's different.
I would
it's
say.
Not sisterhood.
Are you fucking kidding me? No, let's say it was his sister. Let's say Maddie called.
That's not sisterhood.
That's her sister.
It's brothers and sisters.
Okay, true, different. I would say, get the fuck out. Like,
it's
I would
siblinghood.
Like, are you crazy?
It's sibling revelry, if you will.
It's sibling revelry, if you will.
Of course.
So I understand, like, the concept of interrupting. Like, it's annoying, but this is my life partner, like, my business partner. Like, scram.
Seriously, scram.
He doesn't. So if you guys been feeling like a sort of tension on the toast that like Jackie and I aren't as close as we used to be, that's why.
Or maybe it's actually the opposite where we do all this nonsensical catching up on the toast because we don't get to do it at other points of the day.
I actually agree. But wait, so you were on FaceTime with me when I decided to make this decision last night. Because I've been watching Jeopardy every night. It's kind of becoming like my new favorite thing. I feel so smart whenever I get an answer right. Like it's just really, it's kind of one of the highlights of my day. And then I just leave the TV on and Wheel of Fortune, I watch passively. It's really so dumb. Like, I can't, okay? And I just want to say, I'm not into Ryan Seacrest and Vanna White. Like, it's the old and the new. We either needed to get both of them out or both of them in. Like, it's wrong. But then Dancing with the Stars was on at 8 o'clock. And I was like, all right, you know what? Like, I'll watch it. I'm always talking about it, like, peripherally on the toast. Maybe I could know what I'm talking about. Now, I'm not going to be able to know what I'm talking about because I found the show, like, so impossible to watch that I was on my phone the entire time.
But me?
I did catch like glimpses of things here and there.
Yeah, she was talking to me.
Yeah. And I just have a major critique of the show that I have to share. Because we're at the place where like there's fewer people left and everybody's scores are getting better. I think there's a point in the show when like everybody's getting like 8s, 9s, and 10s. And I'm going to single out Danny Amendola, but it was happening to everyone. Okay. So this is not like a statement on Danny Amendola's like dancing career. He got
just make an example out of him because he can take it.
Yes, and it's emblematic of the entire issue. And I'm new to Dancing with the Stars. I really never watched, so I'm sure you guys know this, but I didn't. But like, I didn't know we were giving out 10s to amateurs. Like, that was not a 10. A perfect 10 means there's no. Right. I'm like, he was so stiff, and like, yeah, he didn't forget any moves. He did everything right. I was like, are you kidding me? A 10? Like, how low is the bar? I was so shocked, and I was like, this show is not serious. It's not a serious show.
I understand that.
And to be honest, and I have said this before. First of all, if anybody wants to know who I think should win, it's Dwight Howard, but that's neither here nor there. It's so easy for the men. And by the way, there's mostly men left. I think it's 2 women, Chandler and Alona. Pommel Horse Steve. I actually don't know her. She's like this very beautiful girl. I've never seen her before in my life. Disney? She's a Disney. Okay. But then there's Pommel Horse Steve, Joey the Bachelor. Rome has an ancient vibe to it.
Greece.
Old school vibe. Old school vibe. Dwight Howard, Danny Amendola. So it's mostly men. It's so much easier for the men to get a perfect 10. Like all they have to do is properly lift the girls who are 3 pounds and they're professional athletes. Dwight Howard can lift this girlie no problem. Like it's actually biased. It's not an equal playing field.
You don't think it's harder for men to dance in general?
Well, it depends on the man. Sometimes a man comes on and you could tell they seriously have no rhythm. And honestly, like if Dave Portnoy ever went on Dancing with the Stars, he would be out first because one thing, and they released like a bunch of bloopers from him recording his diss track. And it was exactly as I thought. The man has no rhythm. The person who wrote the song had to literally repeat every line to Dave and he had to copy it exactly. He could not stay on beat. It's if you have rhythm like I do, you have to watch. It's infuriating, Jackie. Like he can't. ZB go like he was.
That is so funny.
It was a very funny clip, but some people have rhythm and some people don't. And I think that like you could tell like the gymnastics guy, you have to have rhythm to do those routines.
Yes.
Dwight Howard totally like can kill it at a bat mitzvah dance floor. Like he has rhythm. So if you have the basics, yes. But some people, I think that's gender regardless. Like if you don't have rhythm, like you really can't dance.
I agree with that.
So everyone's been wanting me to watch Dancing with the Stars. And you know what? You got what you asked for. I really didn't like it. Okay. Like, oh my God. I don't know how you guys put up with like, I forgot this thing about cable. It reminded me of The Bachelor, like how they play with you. 2 hours.
That's so crazy.
2 hours, so many commercials. And then they did like a pop-up challenge where like everybody did their performances. And I was like, we've literally been here. There's a whole hour left. What are we going to do? Surprise. Here's your category. Go plan a dance. I mean, so like they all had 5 minutes to put together a dance and choreography and like come back. Like it was so color war. It was so stupid.
I was gonna say it's like camp and not in a good way.
Yeah, right.
Like I don't want to watch someone's camp on TV.
So I fear I cabled a little too close to the sun, honestly.
I'm sorry for you. I finished.
Okay.
I continued, not finished, reading my Frida Rita.
Frida Rita.
And the fact that it's taking me this many days tells you everything you need to know because a Frida is a 24-hour read.
So I think there's something happening with Frida. I experienced something the same where I was like, it was the only books I wanted to read. They were so quick and easy. They were adding to my count. And then you get one that's just like seriously bad. And you're like, I Frida too close to the sun.
Yeah.
Mine was, I forget what it was called, but it was about this like coworker who goes missing.
Interesting. So I'll finish the book and like it's fine, but I'm looking forward to moving on. Maybe reading what you suggested.
The Many Lives of Mama Love, Oprah's book club. Now, if you're going to read it, here's something I only figured out after that I feel is important, like to the story. It's called The Many Lives of Mama Love, and the author is Lara Love. So it's her story. I didn't realize it was like
it's a
memoir. It's kind of. It's
Memoirs
like,
of a Mama?
It read like a fiction book.
Okay,
like,
I kind of like that.
Yeah, and Oprah's actually in the book. It's cool.
Okay, I'm open.
I think you'll like it. And now I'm on my, prison reform shit. Like it's one of those books that opens your eyes to the system.
Interesting.
Kind of how like Demon Copperhead, after I read that book, I'm like, Child and Family Services is disgusting. Mm-hmm. This entire system for kids like who are growing up in poverty and like it's disgraceful.
Big
it's
pharma.
Built. Of course, it's built to destroy the lives of these children. Like honestly, they have not helped one person in their life. Like that was my takeaway from Demon Copperhead. You will have that same takeaway from the prison system from this book.
Oh, I could see that being a rabbit hole.
She's like one of the few who actually got out, like by her own sheer will and determination.
Like Demon,
yeah. So yeah, that's just like kind of what we do here at The Toast. We talk about the government agencies.
We go down a myriad of rabbit holes. The government agencies are very much in the news.
They are. Wait, also, I was going to say run of show, we have Dear Toasters today, but that reminded me that yesterday, Jackie and I feel really bad that last week or whenever it was, the week before, we forgot Dear Toasters. And we know that the community was outraged with us. We received so death threats, backlash, like we heard your cries. And we won't do it again, we promise. But to make up for it, we recorded an entire 45-minute podcast and video episode exclusively going through Dear Toasters submissions. It's on our Patreon.
We do it every few months on Patreon anyway. It's just if everyone loves a little DT.
We wanted to give back to the community.
And we did. And it's up on our Patreon right now.
Yeah. And we'll still do, don't worry. This week's segment,
don't worry.
Today, don't worry.
Even though we actually have like really good stories today. Plus
SMA.
The big celeb news of the day, finally.
SMA. So
I actually feel like, and I'm the last one to say it, I actually feel like we should make haste and get into the Fast 5 stories that you need to know.
And the Fast 5 stories that you need to know are brought to you by Good American. Good American's Always Fits jeans are a total game changer. So whether it's a big lunch, a few drinks with friends, or even that time of the month, their jeans will fit like a dream no matter what. They stretch perfectly to your body, giving you room to move and breathe without ever losing their shape. You're gonna feel confident and comfortable no matter what the day brings. It's like they were really made just for you. Like Good American's commitment to being comfortable and stylish is why it is always a go-to destination for me. Like whenever I'm doing a big haul for like a new season or I'm going on a trip, I always go to Good American. Like the commitment to making clothes that like you see on the runway, but affordably and comfortably, like it really can't be beat. Everything I own from Good American, I absolutely love. And they're really obviously known for their jeans, and their new Always Fits jeans are really game changing. I find jeans to be, it's like I have a very complicated relationships with jeans, and I'm always looking for like hacks, whether it's like jeggings or like waistband jeans. I'm really always looking, and Good American is such a great place, and the Always Fit jeans are a total game changer. You're gonna love it. Obviously, you know that Good American was co-founded by Khloe Kardashian and our favorite guest shark, Emma Grede, and they've just basically been on a mission to redefine fashion with inclusivity and comfort. And they have created denim that feels as good as it looks, catering to all bodies, shapes, and sizes. They have super inclusive sizing. I think that's what they're really known for as well. They go from 00 to plus size 32. So from skinny jeans to boot cut, high-waisted to crops, they've got you covered. Shop now at goodamerican.com, and you can use our promo code TOAST for $50 off your first pair. So don't forget to select podcast at checkout when you choose our show to let them know that we sent you. Our promo code is TOAST. Today's episode is also brought to you by Skylight Frames. So holiday seasons are fabulous, but we're always missing, me and Jack are not going to be together. Like, I'm missing you. You're my swirly. Like, it's sometimes hard to not be with the ones that you love during the holiday season. But if you want them to be a part of your festivities from afar, well, introducing the Skylight Frame. So the Skylight Frame is the perfect gift this holiday season. It is a digital photo frame. I feel like we've talked about it for a while. It's so sweet, actually. You and Olivia both put yours in your kitchen, which I think is so smart. And every time I'm at your house, I love the slideshow, seeing the kids grow up. It's so sweet. It's a great thing, obviously, to have for yourself in your house, but it's a really great gift to give to someone. You can add new photos straight from your phone to the frame, whether it's the frame that you have or someone else's frame. It only takes a tap on your phone to send new photos to a frame across the country. It's the fastest, easiest way to keep loved ones in the loop. The touchscreen is a game changer. You can swipe through the photos, tap to see new photos. There's a heart button that says a thank you to the sender. It really looks beautiful in your home. It's an HD resolution. You can choose from 5 different sizes and styles. There's 2 sizes, 10 or 15 inches, and 5 frame styles. You can set it up in portrait or landscape mode, so it's super customizable. They have a satisfaction guarantee. They are so confident that you'll love the Skylight. They offer free 120-day returns. So now as a special offer, they are giving our listeners $20 off your purchase of a Skylight Frame when you go to skylightframe.com/toast. That's SKYLIGHTFRAME.com/toast. Get $20 off your purchase now at skylightframe.com/toast. Today's episode is also brought to you by Blue Nile. What a year it's been. A lot of you guys have a lot to celebrate, a lot of things you want to give yourself credit for, and it feels good. Like we were just saying, Jackie, this November, we accomplished 2 of our major dreams. Dream making needs to be commemorated with jewelry, or that's just my opinion, and it feels like a good time to step back, take a look at your life in this moment, and commemorate it with something beautiful, something sparkly. If you're thinking about buying jewelry, there's no better place to do it than Blue Nile. That was actually really good advice when I turned 30. I was panicking, and Tinks was buy yourself something really nice, to commemorate. It's a good thing. First of all, it's a privileged age, and also commemorating big moments with a piece of jewelry, you'll never be unhappy. So whether you're looking for a bit of sparkle for yourself, giving a holiday gift to your swirly sister, Blue Nile offers some of the highest quality standards in the industry at prices significantly below traditional retail. So maybe you're thinking of finally springing for that piece you've always wanted. Maybe you're just thinking of what everyday piece will make the most impact on your outfits in 2025. Well, if you have questions about what to get, Blue Nile's jewelry experts are on hand 24/7 via phone or chat. So from technical questions to budget suggestions, they're here to make you feel confident about every purchase. And speaking of, you also get 30-day returns and a diamond price match guarantee. You can't beat the ease and convenience of shopping Blue Nile or the selection. They've got thousands of independently graded diamonds for you to sift through. I think those gorgeous, multicolored hoops from Blue Nile. They're one of my favorite pieces. I wear them all the time, and they're really you can tell when you buy jewelry when it's well made, and Blue Nile really is. So go to BlueNile.com to shop Blue Nile. It's the original online jeweler since 1999. That's Blue Nile, NILE.com, BlueNile.com.
Thank you, Turt.
You're welcome.
Our first story, the big celeb news of the day, finally. People's Sexiest Man Alive has been announced, and it is John Krasinski.
Now, I heard 2 things about this that I feel ruined my take on it. So I want to get your take, and then I'll read the 2 things that Dumois posted that really shook me up.
Okay, I think this is a great choice. I think that it covers People Magazine's demographic while also being like objectively a good call, pretty relevant, and I think everybody really likes this guy. And that's coming from someone who like actually hasn't fallen into John Krasinski lore. I don't watch The Office. I don't watch Jack Ryan. I don't watch A Simple Place. But I can
Zach
say
Ryan.
objectively, he's a good looking man. And
A Simple Place. A Quiet Place.
And Cody Simpson's getting a CMA award.
Correct.
Objectively, he's nice looking. I know people really love him. And even though I'm not even a part of it, I think this is such a great choice. So I can only imagine how people who love him feel about this.
Okay, that's a good take. Now,
what was your initial take?
I literally saw the announcement via this Dumois thing on Twitter. Like, it was the first thing I saw when I woke up. And there was 2 blinds that she had read.
I'm shocked at what you could say that could ruin people's SMA.
Well, the first was that, FYI, Glenn Powell was aggressively courted for Sexiest Man Alive, and he turned People magazine down. He joins the ranks of Ryan Gosling, Jason Momoa, and Keanu Reeves in terms of stars who have been begged to be Sexiest Man Alive, but who have absolutely refused.
Okay.
Then, this is the blind that like really made me like question everything, okay?
Okay.
This A-list actor who was starting to fall from stardom was willing to pay millions of dollars to be, quote, chosen as 2024 Sexiest Man Alive. He knows that people are losing interest in him, and he thinks that spending the money on the title is a good investment in gaining back momentum for his career.
I do not believe that. Like, because if that's true, that's just like the nuttiest thing I ever heard that really...
I didn't know you could pay...
I don't believe it. I just want to say, like, and John Krasinski's not my fave, but I'm going to trust your guys' fave because he literally says in the article, like, he immediately blacked out when he was told he's going to be People's Sexiest Man Alive.
But keep in mind, these are actors. Like, they are deluded.
I know, but like, I know people boldface lie to your face, but until I can confirm that they've done it once, like, I do give people the benefit of the doubt, and I've not seen John Krasinski to be a liar. And I also don't agree with that blurb that like he's waning from public interest. I think he's doing just fine.
And I think he's like at a level where even if he's not doing public outings and things, like he's always eternally famous. He's at that level. Now, let me like really strip back and give you my thoughts. Like, I'm not offended by this choice whatsoever. Again, he's not my favorite. I actually don't particularly think he's like good looking, but I know there are people who like die for Jim and Pam and Jack Ryan and all that. So again, I'm happy for them. And I think I feel this way often about People magazine. Like, they always just make like it's like so obvious, you know, like do something crazy.
I think it should be a little bit obvious though.
Yeah.
For what this is.
I don't know. Well, they do like, you know what, never mind, I'm not going to say that.
Who would have been like a crazy, like I even think like Jeremy Allen White would have been a crazy choice because he is like still kind of niche. He's on one show. He's
not niche. He's not niche. We are just used to People magazine choosing men over 40. He would be the youngest person to ever be chosen.
I also think that's a good precedent. I don't know. Like, maybe we could also have a different publication do like
Maxim, Sexiest,
hottest guy. But like, I like what People magazine does, and I like that they don't stray too far from it. Like, it's an older, more established man. Everybody really knows them.
It's interesting to me that People magazine is not ordinarily a publication stars at this level would ever sit down for an interview for. Now, a lot of them make an exception for the Sexiest Man Alive thing. It's Glenn Powell. Actually, Glenn Powell yesterday, or maybe this morning, was announced as the cover star of Vanity Fair with like Jonathan Bailey and Nicole Kidman, like the big movie stars of this season. Mm-hmm. And so it's clear he's like really in a different stratosphere, and he's on this path of like Hollywood movie star. We haven't had like a real male movie star in a while. Like, that's what he wants to be, very like Tom Cruise back in the day. So I can actually see him turning this down. And I do feel like perhaps there was a time where John Krasinski would have said no to this, but not anymore.
Yeah, I think he's at the right place in his career, as the Sexiest Man usually is, because it's more of a
sunset season.
A sunset season. And I understand why Glenn Powell would have said no if that part is true. It's a little too like commercial and corny, and I know he wants to be taken seriously. And there is there is something lovingly corny about Glenn Powell, and I don't think he wants to do like more of that. Like, he's all set.
He wants to win an Oscar, like, and I think that that's the route he's taken, and that's not like a commercial thing. Like, you don't do big People magazine spreads when you want to win an Oscar. Like, you're a very low-key artist, you know, don't talk to me.
Yeah, so I think, and of course, you know, if this is just about sexiness, period, he's not the Adonis, no,
but he's very good looking.
The sexiest man.
He's very good looking. It's an unoffensive choice. It's appeals to a lot of Americans, and it's a good choice.
I think it's a really good choice.
It's a good choice.
Not a really good choice?
Well, the idea of like what Dumas said, like him begging and paying for this, like makes me cringe. So that's like the only thing ruining this for me.
Okay, but do you think there's a possibility that it's not true?
Of course.
Even
But
though
I'm only seeing it through the lens.
Dumas said something else this week that broke my heart.
What?
That Ariel Frankel was out on a date with Gobbledygook.
With what?
Who? I don't know the person.
Matthew Gray Goobler. Oh, man, you don't know him. He's from Criminal Minds. He's like,
I don't know who
obsessed with
that
him.
is. Gobbledygook.
Oh, okay. So if you don't know who Gobbledygook is, then like I could see how that would upset you because I know you want her to be with that other Jewish character from The Bachelor. Having said that, like people are obsessed with him. He plays what the hell is his name in Criminal Minds? Like people are, I love Criminal Minds and I love him. And like, I totally get there is an obsession with this guy. And I don't even know if he's ever publicly dated anyone. And now his first sighting is with Ariel, Jewish queen from The Bachelor. Like I'm actually not upset about it at all.
Okay,
Jackie, it's a huge pull for her, if true.
Okay. Even if it's not true, the fact that they're associated, like, it's just really great for her. I want greatness for her, so I will support her. I just am going to be mourning, like, the shidduch that never was.
Yeah, no, I totally get you.
But I'm glad to know that he's worthy of our swirly. What's his last name? Gobbler?
Matthew Gray Goobler, Gubler.
It's not Blueberry Gobbler?
I do believe he actually might be Jewish.
Oh my gosh. Okay, this is great news. Matthew, let me look at him with a keen eye now. Matthew Gray.
He's really cute.
Goobler.
He's super cute, really successful, huge. Like people are obsessed with him.
Oh, he's in your favorite movie, RV.
Wait, what?
That's what's coming up.
Who is he in RV?
I don't know. That's what came up on Google. He does look familiar, but I've not seen anything that he's been in.
He's really from Criminal Minds, like, and that's it.
Okay.
Oh my God, yeah, he's the one who helps them with the septic. I fucking love RV. Okay, it all comes back to RV.
Yeah, he's really cute. I'm happy for her.
And Jackie, he's Jewish. Does that change things for you?
Except it does change things for me. It does.
Yeah.
I just want greatness for her. I'll support her in anything she does.
Let me tell you, I know this is like a blind spot in your pop culture knowledge, and I can tell you, like, it's a really good thing for her.
Okay, great.
It would be like, I'm trying to make a comparison that you would know. I don't know, but just have faith in me. Like, this is amazing.
Okay, yay.
Yeah, like, there's like Jeremy, while it was nice, he's not like the only Jewish guy out there, you know?
No, I know, but I just love the idea of like The Bachelor, bringing them together.
Of course. And they had that video together. I thought that was like a hard launch.
I thought so too.
No, she was spotted with the goobs. What did you call him? Gobbledygook.
Gobbledygook.
Seriously, top 5 funniest things you've ever said.
Matthew Gray Goobler. Okay, I'll book it.
Yeah, no, he's one to watch.
She's one to watch, and so by osmosis, he's one to watch.
No, that's a good one. So hopefully either all of the things that Dumas said are true or none. Like, it's so hard to know. You really have to use your judgment.
Yeah. I think some things are true and some things aren't. I'm going to give John Krasinski the benefit of the doubt here. Maybe he doesn't deserve it, but I'm going to give it to him.
And I just want to say, I can see a world in which they would have chosen him, like he wasn't begging or paying. Like, I can see, it's not so out of the realm of possibility.
Not at all.
No. And he doesn't seem like the kind to be like so obsessed with how relevant he is.
No,
like he's made a lot of money.
They're painting him out to be this huge loser. He has this huge show on Prime. It's being made into a movie, I heard.
He's also like, you know, part of an A-list Hollywood couple that everyone's obsessed with. Like there's relevance in that.
I don't think it's true. Okay.
Okay.
But thank you for bringing it to the discussion table. It's my
important. Pleasure.
Are you ready for our next story?
Yeah.
About one of our favorite couples. Olivia Munn is sharing a lot about the early days of her relationship with John Mulaney to GQ. So
I mean, for some people, the early days of her relationship with John Mulaney is like the most important thing in their lives. Like, because the timeline, you know, there's like
and
a lot
they're going to be like seriously sad for this because she's admitting that she barely knew John Mulaney when she got pregnant. They weren't even dating yet, she says. She said it wasn't anything close to dating when she found out she was expecting their son Malcolm. Quote, I barely knew him. She talked to GQ because he is on the cover of Comedian of the Year for GQ. And she talks about how they got together again in 2021. She said at the time he was looking for an apartment in New York City after splitting from his ex-wife, and Olivia referred him to a friend, and they began talking again, at some point developing a more intimate relationship. She told
I just want to say something. I'm sorry. Because this is harking back to a conversation we had when we were talking about the Grammys. Like, and I think John Mulaney's amazing. You guys know, like, I love him, and I think he's really successful. I don't think he was the comedian of the year. Like, these arbitrary titles, and that's what I was saying about, like, comedy. Like, the new world of comedy has, like, a lot of catching up to do to, like, the OG. It's, like, a very old school type of thing. And so if you're not, like, you know, on the road, like, the whole podcast and special, I feel like is not, like, Shane Gillis was the comedian of the year, you know?
Yeah, well, it's GQ. This is their Men of the Year issue, and then like in the comedian category, it's John Mulaney, but he also got the cover. I think we have to just accept these things because we're getting into the list time of the year.
I know, but I hate when the lists aren't accurate. Like, it really bothers me.
To me, this isn't the worst choice they could have made. Like, it's not.
No, but was it the biggest year for John Mulaney? No, I feel like he was literally in hiding. He had a second kid. Like, what did he even do?
Didn't he put out a special this year?
I don't think
not
so.
Not Likeability's a Prison.
No, that was Baby J. John Mulaney.
You saw him at the Lighthouse. That was really big for him.
Yes, and he had said like he really hasn't done much this year. Oh, he did that Netflix is a Joke festival that they televised for Netflix. He had like a little late night show.
I agree with you. Like, there were comedians.
It was called Everybody's in LA. Yeah, okay, I'm sorry. Not to be like a stickler for the lists, but it just goes without saying, like, if we're taking a look at this year at a glance, comedian of the year for men wasn't.
Yeah.
John Mulaney. Sorry, continue.
So she said that she was excited when she told him that she was pregnant. However, she added, it wasn't necessarily we're going to be married and live together or any of that, but it was I will be involved in some way. She initially assumed they would simply co-parent their child while she lived in LA and he remained in New York. However, the two would talk every once in a while, or he would come visit her throughout her pregnancy. At the time, he was fresh off of his rehab stay after relapsing during the pandemic. Before that, he had been sober for 15 years. She said the two seemingly grew closer throughout her pregnancy, as the exciting arrival of the little one was the only thing that made him seem light and happy. She said, I remember he was really excited to tell his parents. I was watching someone newly sober at the edge of a cliff, and I didn't know him well enough to help him. In my head, I'm thinking, I don't really know what's happening with this guy. It feels pretty shaky. But then I would see him at the Troubadour and be like, man, he's on fire. He's just that phenomenal. By the time she was 6 months pregnant, she decided to get involved in his recovery and stage a mini intervention. They agreed at the time that she would give him random drug tests, which is still something she does to this day. 2 months later, they decided to raise their son as a couple. And then
that's so cute.
So cute. And then he announced that they were expecting their first child after their relationship was exposed that spring. So it's just like so crazy that all of this came out and like they really barely knew what they were even doing.
Well, I think that like this actually, it does make sense. I didn't envision it that way. I thought that they decided to have a child together. Yeah. And then for all the, you know, girlies who can't move past Anna Marie Tendler, they're like, well, he never had a kid with his wife of 10 years. And so actually this is congruous with the person we knew him to be. Like, kids was not in the plan.
Yeah.
And of course it happened and it's like, you know, a happy accident and it's beautiful, but it actually, I think, makes John Mulaney look very good. It's not like he just didn't want to have kids with Anna Marie.
Or that he lied to her.
Right. It really was not in the cards for him, but obviously accidents happen and this was a good one. But I actually think this is really a good Luke for Mr. Mulaney.
And it's a good lesson in trust your faves.
Well, that too, but it's also a rom-com in it. Like I'm just picturing it, and it must have been very scary for him to, like, you know, be newly sober and then also find out that you got someone pregnant. Like,
yeah. And to be fresh out of a long-term relationship. Like, I imagine this time was actually very dramatic for him. Like, that's a lot to be going through all at once while also trying to stay sober and in a new relationship, leaving an old relationship, baby on the way. It's a lot.
It is. The more I learn about these two, even the way she's describing, like how, like, it really sounds like a book. Like,
and I also feel like people had painted this picture of her where it's like, she knew what she had eyes on
Harlot.
him. Yeah, like went right for him. And it's like, no, even when she got pregnant, she didn't expect that they would be together.
She definitely got, like, classic woman, you know, like the Jezebel label.
Like the womanly wiles.
Right, like she actively pursued and got herself pregnant. Like, they definitely, I think, like, the haters definitely painted, and they really, for years, they've said nothing. And this is just like a random anecdote, but it's really like a window into how they got together. I mean, even if how they got together wasn't as cute as it sounds, like, I ship these two so hard. Like, I think they have such a beautiful life together, and I think they're perfect for one another.
Yeah, not everything happens the way that you plan it.
Yeah.
Actually, what's that quote? Something I was just reading.
Man plans and God laughs.
Yeah, that too, but it was also like life happens in the...
Yeah. I know the one. While you're making plans or something.
But it's like life is what happens during... It's probably highlighted on my Kindle somewhere. During the things that you didn't expect. Like, it's obviously more succinct than that, but like... I don't know.
No, it's so true. And like, look how they ended up. Like, now they have another baby. They have a family of 4. It's so sweet.
Yeah.
They are married, correct?
Yes.
It's so sweet. Like, I truly love these two.
Me as well.
And I like them both so much individually. And they sort of came to me on their own. Like, I feel like before, while he was married to Anna Marie, like, everybody was obsessed with John Mulaney. He's the best comedian.
Claudia, remember when we were just doing a list of people that we don't care about separately, but together we love? Were we talking about them?
But no, because I'm saying actually now I care about them both so deeply independently of one another. At one point, though, I didn't. I feel like the world tried to get me to care about John Mulaney, and I was like, get away from me. Then the world turned on him, and I said, oh, you're interesting. Come here.
Yeah.
But that's always what happens. Like, I only really start to like people when they have a fall from grace. Like, because when you're universally beloved, I'm like, okay, whatever. I don't need to invest in you. Oh, people hate you? You're interesting. What'd you do? Come here.
Yeah, but also it's like how you deal with it,
Bounce
right?
back, of course.
That builds your character and toughens you
and
up.
shows people who you are, really. Yeah.
And shows yourself who you are.
Yeah, same with Olivia Munn. I mean, she was, like we said, like, painted out to be this, like, absolute harlot. Whore of Babylon, if you will. And no, I did my own independent research. She's a queen.
Yeah.
And now everybody loves her because of her Skims campaign and her breast cancer journey. But it's like, I liked her before.
Where were you?
Yeah, I liked her before.
Where were you?
Where were you?
Are you ready for our next story that's interesting to me? It's a little Outer Banks drama.
Oh my God. Okay, I'm familiar. And the annoying thing about this is that I'm in the middle of the most recent season. I think I have a couple of episodes left. And the drama has spoiled it for me. So I just found out what happened.
Okay. I am all caught up, except I didn't watch this most recent season yet. But I think I could do it without spoiling, except maybe you'll realize that 2 people get together. But that's not a major spoiler to like the actual show.
No. Someone's leaving the show.
Yes. I won't talk about that.
Okay.
I won't talk about that. But Outer Banks, the new season just dropped, and 2 of the stars are feuding so badly that apparently they couldn't even film a hugging scene together. Now, when I read this, I thought it was going to be Chase and Madeline Klein because they dated so publicly.
But they have maintained like that they have a friendship. Kelce Ballerini follows Madeline. They're always leaving comments on each other. So I was like, oh my God, is that fake? But no, it's not about those 2. And if you have been following the lore of, if you're like obsessed with Outer Banks, then you know all this. But most people are not like diehard Outer Banks stans. Like,
no, like
they just
I
like
watch
the show
every season, but I don't follow them on social media.
Right. So it's about JJ and Kiara, who actually in the show date. And I think many years ago at the beginning of the show had like a brief something. He is now engaged to somebody else.
Yeah.
And she is in a relationship as well.
So rumors are continuing
I believe with a woman. Yes.
Oh, interesting. Rumors are continuing to swirl that they've had a falling out. A source exclusively tells people that they are not feuding despite ongoing speculation. Okay, sure. A couple things happened. One, eagle-eyed fans noticed that in one scene in the new season, the 2 of them are just like sitting next to each other, cuddling at a bonfire.
Yep.
And the way that the scene cuts, like you don't see both of their faces at the same time, making it seem like there was a body double for each of them because they couldn't be holding each other.
Because the man is taller, there's a scene where it's like just him and she's like hugging him down below, so you see the top of her head, and it's literally not her.
Yeah, no,
it's not her.
I saw the headlines before I saw the actual clip, and I was like, oh, they didn't want to film a sex scene together. Like, okay,
yeah,
could be a lot of reasons for that, especially if they're exes. But no, they couldn't even just wrap their arms around each other.
And so this has been like a fan theory for years, being like they hate each other, they hate each other, they hate each other.
Because also there was a cast dinner in June 2023, which was attended by the guy who plays JJ and his girlfriend,
Rudy.
And then Kiara and her partner, Mariah, yes, a woman. And in the wake of the dinner, they both reportedly unfollowed Rudy's girlfriend.
Yes, so the rumors are that like, and by the way, Rudy is now engaged to this girl. So the rumors are that like Rudy's fiance is like really jealous that he used to date. Is Rudy, yeah. But like, she is really uncomfortable with the fact that he still actively works with and has romantic scenes with his ex, and she's very threatened. And they're really putting the whole thing on Rudy's fiance, and she forced.
What you're gonna say next, just don't say.
Okay. So like, she's the reason for all of this, which I feel like is such a convenient theory.
I agree.
We have no proof, and up until this point, we've really had no proof besides like Instagram stuff. But now the stunt double like being exposed. It's definitely giving a lot of credence to these rumors that have existed for many years.
That's really crazy to me if that's what it is. Like, that's really immature, especially because of Madeline and Chase. And I also feel like, just to the storyline, like, they could also break up JJ and Kiara. Like, they're not germane to the storyline, them being together. Not like Sarah and John J.
John B. Yeah, and to be honest, I actually would be for that, and it would make sense in the storyline, because I felt this way last season, and this season even more so. I cannot watch the show because of JJ. Like, he is the most reckless, out of control, worst friend, worst character, worst treasure hunter. Like, the fact that he's alive.
Worst treasure hunter.
And then this season, like, something happens that really pisses him off, and it's wrong. You know, he gets wronged by the rich people. And what does he do? He burns down downtown. He starts a riot. He starts looting. He's literally, he sets fire. And it's all local businesses, by the way. So it's like, you're not hurting any of the rich people. He beats up policemen. He destroys police cars. I'm like, wait, he became like an anarchist. And that's what I was like, seriously, Ben, I can't watch a show. I can't root for these kids anymore. Like, they're anarchists. Like, at first it was like, yeah, fuck the man and like the rich people. And I was like, yeah.
Get your treasure.
Now they're like defacing public property, beating up policemen, like burning down local businesses. I can't.
The show is so crazy, and it gets to a point of ridiculousness. But there is something about it that, like, it warms.
It's got heart.
It's got heart. Like, it sticks with me, and every time there's a new season, I do wind up watching it. And it was one of my like Sir Claus shows last year that got me through like a really painful week. So for that, like, I'm riding with OBX.
You'll have a hard time. Like, your moral compass will come into question this season. Me and Ben were looking at each other. We're like, what the fuck? Like, they took it too far. Okay. Jackie, like, everybody's rioting. There's like, there's like a police hunt for JJ. I'm like, okay, we have seriously Outer Banks too close to the sun. Like,
oh my God.
It's really crazy.
Okay. I'm older.
Yeah, like taking a baseball bat to the windows of the pharmacy, the store, like local owned businesses. I don't know what he was trying to do. Like literally taking a bat to the electrical poles. Like, he literally shut off all the power downtown. It was really crazy, and I can't explain. Like, they go to this town hall because like the rich people are stealing from them and whatever. They lose, and it's wrong. The rich people are being wrong, but he starts beating people up, so he gets thrown in a cop car. Well, John B takes a bat to the cop car window. JJ runs, takes the bat, and burns down downtown. Like, these kids are actually now the villains.
Understood. But now knowing, like, that spoiler that we won't say, are you going to keep watching?
Like, Ben was really into it, and like, I don't know, I couldn't, like, not. So they released it in two parts. The first part, like the first 4 or 5, maybe 6 episodes, I actually really liked.
Okay.
The second part, I was like, these people have lost the plot.
Okay. I'm going to give it a shot.
I don't know what my future holds with this show.
Okay. Well, I just thought this was really crazy.
That like went really viral its first season. I feel like every time that happens, nobody really watches like the second or the third season. But no, it's this really strong fan base. And it's because like these 4 young kids, or 5, 6 actually, they're beautiful and they're always like taking really good photos on Instagram. And like people are obsessed. They travel to Outer Banks and watch them film. Like it kind of has like that Gossip Girl sort of fandom.
Also like Riverdale. And I think they said next season of OBX is going to be the last season.
Yes.
So it'd be like total 5 or 6 seasons, which is similar to Riverdale.
Yeah.
And then everyone like wants to go do other things.
Right. Well, I think that like, then people on TikTok are comparing it to Ray J. Jean Paul.
Okay, but why?
Like
he only did 1 season.
Right, but like leaving a show that like made you famous for like other opportunities, and people are like worried that the person who ends up leaving, I won't say who it is, like might have that sort of Ray J. Jean effect.
I could see that.
Because what in the world happened to Ray J. Jean?
But he couldn't even do season 2. Like that.
I know.
This person who left,
extreme.
This is season 4.
Yes, out of 5.
It's different. It's more like, so of a Marissa Cooper.
I'm still waiting for that Ray J. Jean big project to drop. Like, what did he...
Big secret project.
Yeah, he couldn't film Bridgerton because he had this big opportunity. What was it?
I don't know.
That will go down in history as like one of the worst choices ever made.
Yeah, I hope he has like new management now.
I don't even know what help. Oh, you hear Chappell Roan split with her management.
I did because of Chappell Roan, because she was mad that someone wrote about it. Therefore, people were writing that she was mad. And I don't know if I would
posted about it on their Instagram, like, new article on our website, read about Chappell Roan. And she commented, you guys suck for this. Like, girl, calm down. It's literally their job. Like,
yeah. Chap gonna chap. I don't know what else to tell you guys.
But she keeps out chapping herself.
Yeah. But
because now she's getting to things that are like truly indefensible. Like with the paparazzi, like nobody's ever going to take the paparazzi side. So we're like, yeah, chap, go chap. But it's like independent journalists, like leave them alone.
Well, they're not really independent journalists, but it's like you can't like be mad about everything. This is the industry.
No, it's like it's the system. Yeah,
it's the industry. So you're in the wrong industry, and I'm not saying the industry's right for the way that it operates.
Right. They think she's going to change it from the inside out with her fabissina.
You know what, chap? Go off, queen.
If you can.
Are you ready for our next story?
What number?
Number 4, but we have Dear Toasters.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Some crazy news, which is that Travis Kelce's Kansas City mansion was burglarized of $20,000 in cash during the Saints game, while Patrick Mahomes' house was hit 48 hours prior. So,
and to be clear, this just reminded me, the sexiest man alive this year is Travis Kelce.
Yeah, but the thing is, he would have never sat for that interview.
Of course.
It should have been Jason Kelce.
Love that too. But like if we're talking about like accurate lists.
Yeah.
Sexiest man alive of 2024.
Yeah.
It's Travis Kelce.
I agree with you.
But there's so many politics in the list, and I get that.
Yeah. Burglars reportedly targeted Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes' mansions in Kansas City last month ahead of their matchup against the New Orleans Saints. According to a police record obtained by Page 6 on Tuesday, the burglary at Mahomes' estate was reported by a bodyguard just after midnight on October 6th. It's unknown what, if anything, was stolen from his home. He was notably out celebrating Travis's birthday the day in the hours leading up to the burglary. So,
I mean, that's literally the house he lives in with his kids. Like, that's so scary.
Yeah, it's unclear if anyone was home during the break-in, and then less than 48 hours later, Travis's mansion was also broken into around 7:30 p.m. shortly after kickoff against the Saints. You know what's crazy is that they live in different states.
Wait, what? One of them lives in Missouri?
Lives in Missouri, and Travis lives in Kansas.
And they probably live 5 minutes from each other.
Right.
Like, that's so crazy. No, this is like probably one of the worst parts of being a public figure is like, especially like an athlete, like your schedule is literally out there for the world to see. Everybody knows when you're at training camp. And so it really makes you a target for things like this. And I think that there's really only one celebrity who's got security down pat, and it's Miss Taylorina Swift. And she needs to hook up Trav with her guy.
Yeah.
And Patrick.
You don't think that she had?
I don't know. Well, he did just move into that new house, and she's like, if she's going to spend time anywhere, it needs to be like completely clear. So
yeah.
I don't know. This is just like the worst feeling. I know nobody feels bad for celebrities because they have like all the money in the world and like you're $20,000. It's not about what they stole. And maybe they stole something, sentimental, and that's irreplaceable. But like I've never, God willing, Baruch Hashem, bite my tongue a million times. I've never been burglarized. But I know people who have, and it is the most
violating.
Like horrible. It's not about the things that they took ever. It's about the fact that even if you were home, if you weren't home, somebody was in your fucking house. Like that's a sense of peace you can never get back.
Yeah.
And I know people who have moved because of it. So I don't think the $20,000 is going to cripple him financially, but the sense of peace, and then also like Taylor's not going to feel comfortable.
Yeah.
At a like that, it really offsets your entire sense of peace.
Yeah, I hope they catch the people who did it. I feel like there's never enough like energy.
Yeah, for like, I know the boys who did it,
right? Like I feel like, especially when we report with like a lot of the celebrity homes in LA, like and we're always reporting those sorts of stories, and it's never like caught the thieves.
I know. I think that's why like the Alexis Nyers trial was as big of a deal as it was. It was like the first time because it was this like organized ring. It was the same couple of people doing everyone's houses that it was such a big deal, and it got such attention not only because of their reality show, but like they made a movie of it, like because who the fuck, like who's doing this?
Right
now I think there's a difference when somebody steals from you. Like Alexis Nyers wasn't a dangerous person, mm-hmm. But the group of men who burglarized Dorit's house with guns, like that's different,
and they never caught those guys.
No, like it's actually so crazy.
Yeah. Are you ready for our fifth and final story?
No, is it our fifth and final story that's brought to you by State Farm?
It is.
Thank you so much to State Farm for sponsoring today's episode. We know that our listeners can agree nothing feels better than a personal win. Like when you get a final piece of furniture delivered to your apartment and your home really feels complete, or you hit a best new record during a turdy run. Perhaps, you're training for a 5K. Whatever small, big, simple, complicated win that you have, it deserves to be celebrated. Like maybe you're a toaster who managed to stop for a much needed iced coffee but still made it to work on time, or you didn't make it to work on time but nobody noticed. That's a huge win as well. Perhaps you found a new pair of jeans that finally fit, or you fit into an old pair like from high school. Whatever it is that you define as a win, it calls for celebration. And who's cheering right beside you? State Farm. Because with the State Farm personal price plan, you can create an affordable price just for you when you bundle home and auto. So celebrate by breaking out the confetti and those happy dance moves. Talk to a State Farm agent today to learn how you can bundle and save with the personal price plan. Now, what's also great about State Farm is they are for all toasters, whether you're like a slower toaster like Jax, perhaps you want to talk to a State Farm agent on the phone. Maybe you want to go to them and talk to them in real life, whatever that's like. You can do that. But if you're like kind of a fast-paced, bright lights, big city, fast-moving girly, you can like turd over here. You can talk to a State Farm agent on their app or their website. Like really whatever method of communication works for you, they will adapt to. So talk to a State Farm agent today to learn how you can bundle and save with the personal price plan. Like a good neighbor, I can confirm State Farm is there. Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, eligibility do vary by state. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Today's episode, you're good. Today's episode is also brought to you by Peloton. Peloton has the convenient and varied instruction that you might need to get your tushy off the couch. Now, what do we know about Peloton? Everyone's obsessed with the bikes and the instructors and love. They have one in my gym and I have a subscription and it's probably one of the best things I've ever done for myself. But even if you don't have the bike, a lot of people don't know that they have tons of classes that you can use at a regular gym, whether that's on a treadmill, floor exercises, you have no equipment. So they have a variety of training programs like Pilates, boxing, marathon prep, strength training, boot camps, yoga, meditation. There's so many different ways to challenge yourself. And when I was getting into running, I really wanted to do Peloton workouts, but I thought I needed like the Peloton tread, like the actual treadmill, but you don't. Like I was just using the one at my gym or out on an actual outdoor run, and their guided walk/runs really helped me get into running. Like I didn't know how to run. I didn't know like that people, I thought everybody was just like able to run for 30 minutes at a time. No, you have to like really train yourself. And so the walks/runs hikes on Peloton really saved me. And they also just have amazing music, which is like really half the battle with getting through a workout is having good music. So challenge yourself or don't. They have classes that challenge you to try new things and push yourself like marathon training, but they also have a variety of classes to help you relax like walks and meditation. So find your push and find your power with Peloton and head over to onepeloton.com to check it out. That's ONE Peloton.com. Today's episode is also brought to you by Primal Kitchen. Let's talk about real food for a minute. We all know that we should be eating more real, nutritious food, but really, who has the time to make everything from scratch, including like your sauces and your salad dressings? Well, definitely not me. And some of us don't even have the time to read, or really actually the energy to read every single label at the grocery store just to avoid sketchy ingredients in our food. And if we are, it's going to be the big things, not the salad dressings, not the condiments. And that's why we love Primal Kitchen and their condiments. It's a secret weapon for making real food taste amazing. So their original buffalo sauce is probably one of their best-selling products. It's got that Goldilocks level of heat, not too hot, but still super flavorful for wings, dips, roasted veggies, even just a drizzle on your scrambled eggs. It's absolutely delicious, and it pairs perfectly with Primal Kitchen's no dairy ranch dressing, which you can also use as a marinade. You can also use it like in recipes, like for like a chicken skillet recipe. Even their ketchup, like their unsweetened ketchup, I'm obsessed with ketchup. I actually saw Matthew McConaughey on podcast talking about how he's obsessed with ketchup, and I was like, that's literally me. I'm like a ketchup first person. And I like the OGs, and I really was not open to trying Primal Kitchens, especially because it's unsweetened. And I was like, you know what? I'm good. Like, I'm really good. But let me tell you, you guys, it tastes the same. It tastes so good, and it's so much better for you. It's made with real California grown tomatoes, no corn syrup, cane sugar, or artificial sweeteners. So if you're all about real food, but you need a little help making it exciting, you need Primal Kitchen condiments and sauces. They've nailed the perfect combo of high quality ingredients and delicious flavor, so your meals will taste as real and homemade as it gets. So head to primalkitchen.com/toast to save 20% off your next online order with code TOAST at checkout. That's primal, PRIMAL, kitchen.com/toast, code TOAST. They are also available in stores nationwide, so visit primalkitchen.com/toast to find a location nearest you. Thank you, Jackie. What is
Thank you, Turd. I just want to say also kids love ketchup, and like you don't want to be giving them all that sugar. I use the Primal Kitchen ketchup for the kids, and like they love it, and it's no sugar. Thank you.
So when I'm talking about myself, like I'm obviously also talking about kids. You guys know we're on the same level.
Our fifth and final story is a story that I hate.
Oh my God, it's a story that she hates?
Lena Dunham will be writing a Sam Bankman-Fried movie for Apple and A24 based on the Michael Lewis book Going Infinite. So Apple and A24 are in early development on a film adaptation of Michael Lewis' book Going Infinite, The Rise and Fall of a New Tycoon, with Lena Dunham attached to write the script. So this is about Sam Bankman-Fried, the founder of FTX, the cryptocurrency, the youngest billionaire, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, I've done like an amazing thing for myself. And it's that I really have carved out like a media blitz on Lena Dunham. Like I'm never like seeing updates on Lena Dunham. I don't think there
are a lot of updates. Like,
no, I know that there are, like peripherally, like she does work and she was, at Fashion Week. Like I have completely carved out a world where she doesn't exist. And like that is on protecting your peace. Like,
yeah. No, this is doubly bad. Like Sam Bankman-Fried, yucky.
Like we don't need it. Like let's stop making movies about criminals. Like it just incentivizes people to do crime.
Yeah, this was like a really crazy story, and I also feel like
it was hard to understand. So a movie is going to become digestible.
Nature, yeah, but it's going to be insufferable.
Yeah, and it's what's so amazing is living in a free country. Like I will not be watching this movie, and you can't make me.
Yeah, no.
Like you literally can't make me support. I won't.
Who should play Sam Bankman-Fried, and why should it be Ethan Slater?
Oh, that's an amazing call. I was going to say Jesse Eisenberg. But maybe I'm just like thinking small, like Facebook, like,
Yeah, he already did his tech movie.
Honestly, though, it's like, who's like a nerdy, curly-headed fuck? Like, and of course, like hair and makeup. But it would be nice if we could just like visualize. Let me think. Hold on.
I'm sure people will say like Jonah Hill.
But no.
But he doesn't have that energy, that vibe anymore.
And Sam Bankman was so young, like curly-haired male actors.
We could wear a wig, but...
Adrian Grenier, okay.
It's like if I were an actor, even though there's probably a breakout role, like I wouldn't even want that people would think I look like that.
Okay, he's obviously like far too old, but at the time, like if he was the right age, like kind of like a Will Ferrell.
Totally.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Honestly, I think Ethan Slater in a wig.
Timothy Chalamet. I'm sorry. Obviously, that's the answer.
Don't do that to Timothy.
But that's the answer. That is the answer.
Okay. Well, those are your fast
I have
stories.
no other thoughts.
No,
like,
me
cool.
neither. Me
Good
neither.
For you. Bye. The day is far from over because it's Dear Toasters Day. Every Wednesday, Jackie and I do our advice segment. It's called Dear Toasters, and we are reading real submissions from real listeners, and you can be one of those listeners if you want to. Send us a submission. You can do it one of two ways. You can email us, of course, simple, deartoasters@gmail.com. We'll keep your name totally anonymous. Or you can over to our website, thetoastpodcast.com. Scroll down. There's a submission box there. You can write whatever your heart desires. If you've written in and you haven't gotten on air, either your submission is uninteresting or it was far too long. So try and keep it concise, like need to know information, okay? Mm-hmm. All right, first up. Hey, Jackson Turd. I got engaged to my P. John back in March, and I couldn't be more excited. We started to look at venues in our area, but we haven't found the perfect one yet. I did originally want to get married in spring 2025, but I'm fine with pivoting to the fall because of a lot of the good dates in spring are already taken. Summer's too hot for us. When I mentioned this to my fiance, he said it's not a good idea to get married in the fall because of football season. He had the nerve to say that I can't get mad if people come to our wedding and are on their phones during the wedding, watching the game, or even refuse to come because of football. I plan on having an amazing band, so hopefully everyone's like on the dance floor enjoying. He's crazy for suggesting this, right? I really don't want to wait till spring of 2026. Please help.
Do not wait till spring of 2026. The good news is that if this is true, then it's a universal issue. I think there's a chance that during the reception, people would be on their phones watching football. Those aren't the people who are going to be like lighting up the party anyway. It's not worth not getting married. I think like people worry about a lot of stuff when they're planning the date for their wedding, but like your biggest thing should be like, when do you want to, like, you want to be married, you want to start your life. To postpone it for football season, I would still work out. If you want to get married in the spring, like you could find a venue. It's November. It's not too late. People cancel.
Yeah, I don't believe in there are certain things you should avoid. Yes. I went to a wedding on the Super Bowl once, and I can tell you, like, everybody was, and it was like in another country, everybody was looking for the Wi-Fi and everybody was checking their phones. Like, even if you didn't really even care about football, like,
right.
I would avoid football Sunday for sure.
Super Bowl Sunday.
Excuse me. Yeah. Super Bowl Sunday. But football season in general, like, people miss football games all the time. It's not a big deal.
That's
Your husband's
too long of a season to just be not a ripe time for weddings.
Your husband's far too dramatic. And I do want to say, It does sound like, and maybe I'm just like being crazy, it sounds like your husband has a gambling problem, like just based on like his inability to
not watch the football game.
I know that might be like a little bit of a jump. Like, Turdy, you're getting ahead of yourself. I just want to say, like, look into it.
Okay.
People who can't miss like any sporting event, it's usually because they have money on it.
Get married whenever you want. Not what works for other people. You need to start your life. You can't wait for football season. Don't give up on spring 2025 and do not push to spring 2026.
Agreed. 1000%. Now, our second submission is somebody who went viral. So normally I would be jealous, but like if this happened to me, seriously, just take me out back and shoot me, okay?
Okay.
Hey, Jackson Turn. I woke up to a not so pargy Instagram DM sending me a TikTok of my husband. He was in New York City sitting at a table at a bar with the caption that read, "Ladies, if you are married to this man, he just said, my Halloween costume is a man who hates his wife," and then flashed his wedding ring right at us, and he's trying to flirt with all the girls. My husband makes dumb jokes with his friends all the time. He's also not on any social media, so I sent him this video and we talked it through. I know nothing happened and nothing's wrong with our marriage, but people I know in real life keep sending me this video and I don't know how to respond to them or how to make it stop. Help, please. How do I reply to people who I don't even know well talking about this? Now, there's two issues. I know you only see one issue. You say the videos were fine, but how do I respond to people? And we'll get to that. But I would be absolutely remiss, devastated, and heartbroken if I didn't at least talk about the video. And I know you say you talked it through and like I trust you, but like I do fear that you are like getting really used to behavior that's not normal. A joke like this is abhorrent. Like, it is unacceptable. It's not a joke, actually. Like, there's truth in it. So I wouldn't be so quick to skirt past this issue and on to the next one. And I actually think your issue here is the joke, not people texting you about it.
Right. So yes, the issue is what he said, but she is asking for advice, so we can let's try and operate under the guise that he's like a perfect husband and he made. But like I would
be remiss if I didn't encourage you to like.
Of course,
like what would you tell your friend if their husband said this about this? Like, I fear that you're like kind of used to being spoken down to, and like your husband might be one of those men who like makes jokes about their wife even when she's around. Like, and I hate that. That's like one of my biggest pet peeves.
Right, that's like a bad joke to make. But then they're also saying he was flirting with the girls, and yeah, nothing happened because they thought he was an asshole. Nothing happened.
And he said he was married.
Right. Nothing happened because they didn't want anything to do with it, not because he didn't try.
Yeah. This is like a really big deal.
But the thing is, like, if somehow it's like not a big deal, like your husband has the world's worst sense of humor and judgment, but is otherwise like a really great partner somehow, and like you can understand how this moment happened. Who cares what other people think? It's your life. Like, that can't be. What if you know that it was fine for however that could be possible? Like, if you know that was fine, then like you need to not care what other people think. If like you're clearly happy in your life and that's not a reflection of your relationship.
People sending this to you who don't really know you, they're not coming from a good place. Like, it's obviously, if it's gone viral, if I barely knew you, I would have just assumed that you saw it. I'm not going to text it to you. Like, they are not coming from a good place and they don't deserve a response. So if anyone who's messaging you is not someone you would normally talk to, I wouldn't even respond, because you're actually looking for tactical advice on how to respond to these people. Anyone you don't know well, do not respond to.
Do not respond. And also, like, he fucked up and embarrassed himself. They should be reaching out to him. So you should just be like, I know, crazy, right? Send it to him. Like, he should be the one feeling awkward. Everybody sending him this video of his bad moment, not you.
No, it sounds like the feeling of your husband embarrassing you is like one that you're familiar with, and that makes me really sad, because a husband's job is to protect you and not put you in a terrible spot. And the fact that he did it and got caught on such like a global scale is unfortunate, but I'm sure you've experienced this on smaller scales all the time. And I just want to let you know, like, that's not normal. That's not good husband behavior. And I feel like you're just used to it. And even the way you wrote us, it just like concerned me about how you like skipped.
It's very concerning. Yeah.
Yeah. So in terms of the responding to people, like, don't.
But also, I need to make sure that his
inbox
and his friends and family are sending this to him. So, like, you got to reroute. You got to bring him in. Add him to the group text. Hey, babe.
Reroute the shame.
Christy saw your video. Oh, forward it. Forward in your mail.
Yeah, screenshot and everything. Yep, 1,000%. Okay, our third is a crossover between Dear Toasters and Abyssal Unburden Yourself. Okay. Hey, Swirlies. I was sharing my screen while presenting to my all-male team, including my 7-year-old business
This
partner.
is probably like the worst way a story could start for me. Like, this is my biggest, I don't know what's coming next, but I'm scared.
Earlier in the day, I was listening to The Toast.
Oh, God.
And for some reason, the Spotify widget popped up on my screen while I was sharing it and showed the unfortunately timed episode title, Tits Out for the Boys. For the life of me, I could not get the title off my screen, and my 7-year-old business partner proceeded to point out the pop-up.
7-year-old?
7D.
Okay.
Proceeded to point out the pop-up, asking me, what is that? What does that mean? I chalked it up to a pop-up and tried my best to move on with the presentation. Do I bring it up again and explain myself? Do I just move on? Should I ask someone else on the team what I should do? Help.
Okay, wait. I just want to look at something on Spotify because, Claudia, you and I were talking about this, and we uploaded the episode "Tits Out for the Boys," and Apple Podcasts starred out the I and the T.
When we wrote it, we wrote TITS,
Claudia.
And Apple took the liberty of putting an asterisk on the I. It must go against
and
their
the T. However, Spotify did not.
Okay, because they respect free speech over there.
But now I'm wishing that they did.
Yeah,
Because
then that was a good call.
The old man wouldn't have ever known. He could have thought "Toots Out for the Boys."
Tops.
But it's straight up tits.
Well, I do think that the 7-year-old man didn't know what he was looking at. I don't know that he knew you were actively seeking out a podcast titled "Tits Out for the Boys." And honestly, I apologize. I do.
apologize. And we should keep that in mind. We should keep that in mind when we are titling episodes going forward. Maybe wasn't reading the title. Maybe he saw two beautiful women, the cover art.
True.
The toast, and
he was probably like really taken by our beauty that he didn't even read the text.
Maybe he's like doesn't have the best sight and he keeps asking what is this because he can't see.
Let me say two things. I think you're in the clear. One, the man didn't know what he was looking at. Like, he has no idea how to process that sort of media. You're fine. Your other younger coworkers might have known that. Now, luckily for you, The Toast is an incredibly popular podcast, and we're not like a pornographic podcast. So anybody who saw it was like, oh, she's listening to the pop culture podcast, and they had a funny title. Like, thankfully, we're so famous that like people know about us, even in a basic sense. Even if they don't listen, they know the basics. They know we're funny girls.
Yeah.
So you're good.
And if they go and Google it, like they'll see that it's just like a pop culture podcast. It's
thanks
not like
to our popularity, you're in the clear.
I understand feeling really awkward about this, and you're right to feel that way, but I do think you can unburden. There's a lot of different ways of like plausible deniability, and if anybody actually saw it and wants to dig into it, it's totally harmless. And like seriously, blame Kim Kardashian.
Yeah, right. Maybe if she didn't have her tits out, they wouldn't be the title
for
of
the
our
boys.
episode. Right. You're fine.
Yeah, you can unburden.
And sorry for what it's worth.
I'm sorry,
but the part we played.
I just want to say, like, of all the things that could have come up when you shared your screen, like, that's really not the worst thing.
It's so true.
Like, your nude photos, of course, like, come to mind.
Of course. No, like...
Your husband sent you a dick pic. Comes to mind.
Well, yeah. A lot of people, like, take pictures of their poo. That's, like, a thing people do.
Oh, or, like, of a really bad pimple, or, like...
Yeah, or, like you have something on your vagina, like, you need to send the doctor. Like, hey, I've got this, like, pimple. Is this normal? Let me know.
Yeah, like, it could have been a pic that you would send your doctor.
I have 1,000 photos of my tonsils. Like, whenever I get sick, I'm always taking pictures, like, flash high resolution. Like, and it looks like a vagina. Like, yeah. You're fine.
Yeah. Just think about all the other worst things that it could have been, and then you will feel great.
You guys, thanks so much for writing in. That is our show. Thank you so much for listening to The Toast. Make sure to head over to shoptoastmerch.com. Get your merchandise. You have a couple of days, so like, don't worry. And the pieces won't sell out since it's all pre-order. Keep in mind it's 4 to 5 weeks for delivery. Thanks so much for listening to The Toast, Millennium Morning Show, where you live and devise my stories you need to know every Monday through Friday on YouTube. So if you're watching us on YouTube, please feel free to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. We're also available as a podcast and where podcasts can be found. So it's Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher, Public Radio, iHeartRadio, CastBox, all the places where we listen to podcasts. Find us at Toast, 5-star review about how beautiful, stunning, and wickedly talented we are.
Love ya. Bye.